They're not tears of sadness.
They're tears of joy, aren't they?
Definitely. When you've got someone like this, talking so nice, it means the world.
We have some terribly sad news to bring you from the world of darts tonight here in Liverpool. Our friend and colleague Eric Bristow has sadly passed away at the age of 60.
What happens when the pressure of competition meets the weight of real human emotion? In darts, beyond the roar of the crowd and the chase for perfection, there are moments that stop everything. Moments of heartbreak, of tribute, of raw vulnerability. We've seen legends honored, battles against invisible demons, and tears shed under the brightest lights. These are the stories where winning and losing fade into the background, and what remains is something far more powerful, the unbreakable human spirit. On a cold Thursday evening in Liverpool, April 5th, 2018, the darts world stopped. Eric Bristow, five-time world champion and one of the sport's true pioneers, suffered a heart attack at the Echo Arena during that night's Premier League event. The crafty Cockney, just 60 years old, collapsed and passed away at the venue where thousands had gathered to watch the sport he helped build. Despite the devastating news, the players agreed to continue, and what followed became one of the most emotional nights darts has ever witnessed. During the match between Peter Wright and Daryl Gurney, word spread through the arena. The crowd, already heartbroken, began singing, "There's only one Eric Bristow," as commentator Rod Studd fell silent.
This crowd's reaction says it all. Eric Bristow, legend. Keith Taylor, you were his friend for the past 40 years. His greatest friend.
When the news reached the players on stage, Wright broke down in tears, unable to contain his grief for a man who had shaped the sport they all loved. Gurney, equally affected, struggled to hold himself together. The match became secondary to something bigger, a celebration of a legend, a collective moment of mourning, and a reminder that darts, at its core, is a family. Barry Van Peer stepped onto the stage at the 2017 Grand Slam of Darts carrying more than just his darts. 21-year-old Dutchman was battling dartitis, a psychological condition that makes releasing the dart feel impossible. Against Gary Anderson, the crowd initially didn't understand.
Well, did you see this last night? During the Grand Slam of Darts, Barry Van Peer suffered what is known within the sport as dartitis. He found it difficult to actually let go of the darts at the oche, and it was really difficult viewing as well in Wolverhampton.
They jeered as Van Peer froze, hesitated, struggled with every throw. Then it hit them, this wasn't gamesmanship. This was a young man fighting a mental battle in front of millions. Van Peer broke down in tears on stage, visibly shaking as he tried to compose himself. Anderson, ever the gentleman, encouraged him with every throw, applauding good darts and offering words of support. Referee Russ Bray called for respect from the crowd, and everything changed. The jeers turned to cheers. "Berry, Berry, Berry," they chanted, willing him through each agonizing leg. He lost that match 5-1, averaging under 70, but the real story was still to come. Facing elimination, Van Peer could have withdrawn. Instead, he returned to face Cameron Menzies in a match that would define courage. Menzies missed 7 match darts in the deciding leg. Somehow, through sheer willpower and the support of an arena that now understood his fight, Van Peer hit the winning double. The emotion was overwhelming, not just for him, but for everyone watching. It wasn't about the score. It was about a young player refusing to surrender. January 2022. Joe Cullen had waited his entire career for this moment. The 32-year-old had never reached a televised final, but at the Masters in Milton Keynes, everything was different. Just 3 months earlier, in October, Cullen's mother had passed away. The grief was still raw, still present in every dart he threw. He defeated Gary Anderson 10-1. He beat Michael van Gerwen 10-7. He overcame Jose de Souza 11-8. And in the final against Dave Chisnell, Cullen fought back from 5-2 down to win 11-9 and claim his first major title. But the trophy ceremony became something else entirely. Cullen's father walked onto the stage, and together they lifted the trophy, a moment of shared pride, shared loss, and shared resilience.
Like I say, I think everyone knows what I've been through. I've lost my mum in October, and honestly, it's absolute gut-wrenching. To win a TV, honestly, that was for mum, that was for mum.
Cullen couldn't hold back the tears. I'd love my mum to have been here to see me do it, but life's not always fair, he said, his voice breaking. I miss my mum dearly, so that's definitely for her. It was special to have my dad here. Losing a parent is always tough, so to have my dad by my side supporting me is great. It was bittersweet triumph, a victory earned through skill but defined by love. September 2021, Copenhagen. Michael van Gerwen hadn't won a tournament in nearly 10 months, an eternity for a player of his caliber. The pressure was immense. The doubts were real. At the Nordic Darts Masters, facing Fallon Sherrock in the final, van Gerwen found himself down 6-3. Sherrock was playing brilliantly, averaging over 103, and the upset felt inevitable. But something shifted. Van Gerwen clawed back to 6-5 with finishes of 122 and 72. The momentum turned. He won 6 consecutive legs, finishing with an 80 checkout to seal an 11-7 victory. As he lifted the trophy, the emotion poured out. Van Gerwen broke down completely, tears streaming as the Copenhagen crowd sang his name. I've been through a really tough period, he admitted, his voice thick with emotion. There was so much pressure on my shoulders. I've had to wait a long time to win a trophy for my ability and what I'm capable of. It's been too long.
I've been through a really tough period, and there's been so much for me. I've been working really hard, concentrating on my game and everything, and then it finally pays out, and I think I played really well over here. But yeah, I only can say thank you. Also the people who stood behind me all the time, and yeah, what can I say?
That night wasn't just about ending a drought. It was about proving to himself that he could still do it, that the champion inside him was still there. Fast forward to the 2022 Players' Championship Finals, and Van Gerwen delivered another moment of pure emotion. After defeating Rob Cross in the final, a match where he threw a 9-darter, Van Gerwen gave one of the most heartfelt interviews of his career. He dedicated the victory to his daughter, his voice cracking as he spoke about her watching at home. My daughter, she might be still up, but she was watching every game of me, he said. Daddy, are you coming over with a big trophy again? I said, I don't know, I'm trying to. So, I said to her, if I win the trophy again, it's going to be yours.
She might be still up, but she was watching every game of me. Daddy, are you coming home with a big trophy again? I said, I don't know. I'm trying to. So I said to her, if I win the trophy again, it's going to be yours. So that's why I want to win it. And yeah.
The warrior persona melted away, revealing a father's love and pride. People don't know me. People want to say something, but I'm here to win tournaments, and I love winning. I love performing on the stage. But this means a lot. At the 2021 World Match Play, Peter Wright produced one of the most emotionally charged performances of his career. After winning a tense semi-final, Snakebite became visibly emotional, overwhelmed by the journey that had brought him there. The final brought even more powerful scenes. Following his victory, Wright broke down during the trophy ceremony, tearfully thanking his wife for her unwavering support through all the years of struggle and sacrifice. The moment was so genuine that his opponent, Dimitri van den Berg, also shed tears on stage, moved by the mutual respect and the weight of the occasion. These weren't tears of defeat or victory alone, they were tears of recognition, of shared humanity in a sport that demands everything.
This is for Joe.
December 2015, Alexandra Palace. Raymond van Barneveld had just defeated Stephen Bunting 5-4 in quarter-final thriller at the PDC World Championship. What happened next caught everyone off guard. Van Barneveld took the microphone and delivered a heartfelt, unsolicited tribute to his opponent. This man should be in the Premier League. "What a player," Barney declared, highlighting Bunting's accomplishments and his bold decision to transition from the BDO to the PDC. "This man is one of the best of the best." Bunting, standing beside him, was visibly moved. The crowd responded with chants of "Bunting! Bunting!" as tears ran down the Bullet's face.
They're not tears of sadness.
They're tears of joy, aren't they?
Definitely. When you've got someone like this, talking so nice, it means the world.
When you've got someone like this talking so nice about you, it means the world, Bunting said afterward, his voice breaking. It was an act of pure sportsmanship, a champion using his platform to lift up another player, and it remains one of the sport's most touching moments. January 2022, Alexandra Palace. Peter Wright stood as world champion once again, having defeated Michael Smith 7-5 in an epic final. But the victory was bittersweet. For Smith, it was his 9th major final defeat, a heartbreaking pattern that seemed destined to continue. After the match, Wright became emotional again, this time for a different reason. In his winner's interview, he addressed Smith directly with words of encouragement and genuine affection. "I just love him to bits and I feel so bad because I know as soon as he gets a major, he will just trounce everybody." "And you will," Wright said.
I just love him bits, and I feel so bad because I know as soon as he gets a major, he will just trounce everybody, and he will.
His voice filled with conviction and compassion. Smith, devastated by another loss, responded with raw honesty. "I must have done something terrible in a past life because it's doing my head in now. But I'll definitely be back on that board and I'll be getting ready for the next one." The exchange showed the sport's heart, a champion, offering hope to a brilliant player, still searching for his moment. 1 year later, Wright's prediction would come true. January 3rd, 2023, Alexandra Palace. Michael Smith stood on the edge of history, facing Michael van Gerwen in the World Championship final. After 9 heartbreaking major final defeats, Bully Boy needed this more than any trophy could express. The match delivered one of the greatest legs in darts history, both players throwing 6 perfect darts toward 9 darters. Van Gerwen missed double 12 by millimeters. Smith, following directly behind, didn't. The double 12 went in. Perfection. The crowd erupted as commentator Wayne Mardle screamed, "I can't speak! I can't speak!"
Come on, Bully Boy! Yes, double 12! That is the most amazing leg in darts!
Until his voice gave out entirely. "I was shaking. My heart was pounding. I had goosebumps," Smith admitted later. He went on to win 7-4, rattling off 4 consecutive sets to finally claim his first world title. As the winning dart hit, Smith's face crumpled. Years of near misses, of being so close yet falling short, of wondering if it would ever happen, it all poured out in that moment. Tears streamed down his face as he lifted the Sid Waddell trophy, barely able to speak through the emotion. "It sounds amazing, but I don't want to start getting into all the crying and emotions," he managed, his voice thick with feeling. But the tears told the story his words couldn't. This wasn't just a victory. It was redemption. It was proof that perseverance pays off. It was everything. But Smith's story didn't end with that fairy tale moment. Fast forward to November 2025, and the world champion found himself in a very different place. Standing on stage after qualifying for the Grand Slam of darts, Smith broke down once again, but this time the tears came from a different kind of pain.
I'm sick of sitting at home and watching people in tournaments, and I'm sat at home. That's what pisses me off.
It's hard to see, mate. I feel very sorry for you.
Shit happens, I guess.
Let's end it over here.
No, it's fine. Any more questions?
No, thanks, mate.
Oh, it's fine. You got more questions, ask them. Just leave the injuries out and then we're fine.
He had endured a torrid year battling arthritis, wrist injuries, shoulder problems, and foot issues that left him sliding out of the top 16 and missing major tournaments. The interview became raw, unfiltered, heartbreaking. "I'm sick of sitting at home watching people win tournaments," Smith said, his voice cracking as tears fell. "That pisses me off." Interviewer Arjan van der Giesen tried to cut it short as Smith became visibly distraught, but the champion continued. "From 3 weeks ago crying in bed because I can't walk, to then winning the qualifiers today felt unreal. I've always been a fighter. To be back on stage winning matches, that's what means the most to me. That's Michael Smith, not sitting at home." The vulnerability was staggering. Here was a world champion, stripped of all bravado, showing the world what it truly costs to keep fighting when your body is breaking down. From the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, Michael Smith's journey embodied the brutal reality that in darts, triumph and struggle are never far apart. December 2024. Luke Littler walked off the Ali Pali stage after his first match of the World Championship, having defeated Ryan Makel 3-1 in what should have been a moment of celebration. Instead, the 17-year-old phenomenon was in pieces. During the live Sky Sports interview, Littler tried to compose himself but couldn't hold it together. The tears came, and he couldn't finish the interview. His parents rushed to console him as cameras captured the teenage superstar breaking down in his mother's arms, the pressure of being the biggest name in darts finally overwhelming him. "I drank my water," said to Abby. "I was okay. Then as soon as the question came, boom, tears," Littler explained afterward. Despite averaging an incredible 140.91 in the fourth set, he described it as the worst game I've played. "I've never felt anything like that tonight. It's the biggest stage out there, the last tournament of the calendar year, and I had to somehow get over the line." The image of the teenage sensation crying in his mother's embrace became one of the tournament's defining moments, a reminder that beneath the records, the hype, and the extraordinary talent, Littler is still just a kid, carrying the weight of the world's expectations. At the 2023 PDC World Darts Championship, Brendan Dolan faced a match unlike any other. His opponent in the second round was Mickey Mansell, his best friend on tour. Dolan emerged victorious 3-2, but the win brought no celebration, only complex emotions that spilled out in his post-match interview. "I've been practicing for 3 weeks to play Mickey. I know how hard Mickey has been practicing," Dolan said, his voice heavy with emotion. "Mickey Mansell has been so unlucky in terms of results all throughout the years, and should be a lot higher than what he currently is. I've always had a problem playing Mickey, because he's my best friend on tour, and for that reason, it was difficult."
Do we know Mickey, a former World Cup partner of yours? Given the context, was that one of the toughest games you've had on the World Championship stage?
Oh, it's completely the toughest. The only tougher game I could have would be playing against my brother, and that's the truth. Like, Mickey is part of the family, like, and that is so tough. And I know what it means to him. You know, he's not here to make up the numbers. You know, people think Mickey Mansell is just, you know, he just plays and that's it, but Mickey here's to win.
When asked if it was his toughest World Championship match, Dolan didn't hesitate. "The only tougher game I could have would be playing against my brother, and that's the truth. Mickey is part of the family, and that is so tough. I know what it means to him." It was a reminder that beneath the competition lies genuine friendship, and sometimes victory comes at an emotional cost. Darts gives us 180s, 9 darters, and perfect finishes, but it also gives us something deeper moments when the armour cracks and we see the people behind the players. We've witnessed Barry van Peer conquering his demons, Joe Cullen honouring his mother, Michael Smith's incredible journey from 9th-time heartbreak to world champion glory, and then back to fighting through injury and pain. We've seen a teenage Luke Littler overwhelmed by the weight of expectations, Van Gerwen rediscover himself, friendships tested on the biggest stages, and legends like Eric Bristow mourned by an entire sport. These emotional moments remind us why we love darts, not because it's perfect, but because it's human, not because players never break, but because when they do, they show us what courage, love, and resilience truly look like. In darts, as in life, the most memorable moments aren't always about the winning double, they're about the heart it takes to step up to the oche in the first place.